Hey guys, Rich here. Welcome back to another Brick Scene video. Today we're going to be doing a review. Now, Speed Champions, I have to admit, I'm a big car guy. I love my cars. Always have. I like to think I've had some pretty decent cars over the years. But for some reason or another, I've just never got into Lego cars. The Speed Champions line, I have to admit, have thrown up some pretty cool cars over the years. But I think when they moved to the 8-stud wide versions, I started to get interested a little bit more. So when I saw the new wave was going to contain the Mercedes Formula One car, it was just all over. I couldn't hold out anymore. So I decided to pick up, well, I've picked up the whole wave. But today we're going to be reviewing this. It is, of course, the Mercedes-AMG F1 W12 E-Performance and the Mercedes-AMG Project One. Now that's a mouthful. So first up, I want to say a big thanks to my friends at Toyco for sponsoring this video. If you're in New Zealand, make sure you go along to their website and check out their deals before anyone else. They've got all these sets and more at 15% off at the moment. But like I say, big thanks to Toyco for looking after me and sorting me these sets out for review. Now, so what are these cars? We've of course got the F1 W12 E-Performance AMG, whatever you want to call it. Instantly recognizable as one of the Formula One cars. But the Project One is actually something a little bit different. It is a car that's still essentially a concept. You can't purchase it yet, but it was unveiled in 2017. It does employ the same technology as the F1 car. So it has that 1.6 litre hybrid twin turbo engine, maxing out at about 1,000 horsepower. I think that's what it said. There's only 275 units of them going to be made. They're going to cost you US 2.72 million each. But look, it's a fantastic looking thing, and it's obviously bringing that Formula One technology into modern cars. So look, let's get into these builds. The F1 car, we will start with the W12 first. It's, like I say, instantly recognizable as an F1 car, as the Mercedes car as well. Mercedes normally have a good hint of silver in the livery, but last year they only went for that straight black with the hints of that greeny turquoisey color. Lewis Hamilton's car obviously looks a little bit different from Valtteri Bottas. Just a couple of little trim pieces, which you actually obviously get as part of this set as well. But look, as far as being a recognizable F1 car, I think they've captured the shape incredibly well. It's definitely an improvement on that set that came out about 5 or 6 years ago, which was also the Mercedes cars. Like with all these newer Speed Champion sets, they are getting more intricate. I compare them to those helmet sets, you know, the Star Wars helmets, those sort of things. You know, they're just quite involved, and if you're not paying attention, it'd be quite easy to put something in the wrong place and have it not look right. So really nice build design. Given how skeletal it looks, if you like, being an F1 car, it is quite strong. I'm quite impressed with how strong it is. Some lovely techniques to get the studs going in different directions. They've capture the aerodynamics of the car as well. I think the silhouette and the overall look looks great. The stickers, there's of course a whole bunch of stickers on it, like with all of these Speed Champions cars, but I feel they really need it, especially when you're talking about sponsoring on a race car like this, but also to get some of the shapes in there as well. Printed piece of note is that Mercedes logo on the front of the car. I'm pretty sure everything else was a sticker. Now, there was a couple of really interesting parts that I really liked about this build. One being the halo design. I think they've captured the angle of that halo really well, and you have to lift it up in order to get the driver in. That's not true to form with the real cars, of course. The halos do stay in place as a safety feature, but once you do open up that halo, you can see they've used the game controller piece in there as the steering wheel, which is very much like a Formula One steering wheel as it is. Now, another really interesting little quirk, and I don't know if this is done on purpose or not, but you'll note that the tires on the car are grooved tires, and the design on the wall of the tire is blue. Now, blue means wet weather tires, which means grooved tires. Anything else on a Formula One car would be slicks. So I just like that little attention to detail, if that is the case, if that was done on purpose. Either way, it makes the car look correct, and I'm happy with it. Now, the minifig you get is, I guess, Lewis Hamilton. You know, it's Lewis Hamilton or Bottas. It doesn't really look like either of them, I'm going to be honest. Nice little minifig. Some really great details on that fire suit. I like how the design carries all the way through into the legs as well. Some nice detailing on the back there too. You can take the helmet off, put some hair on. I like it, and I think the fire suit is quite lifelike to the real thing as well. So it's cool. It's cool. I like it. Now, the Project One, this was a really interesting build. Now, like I say, I haven't really been collecting these Speed Champions cars. I have built a few over the years, but this was by far the most intricate sort of build. It is solid. The back end on this thing, I feel like you're building it. It's like a brick when you're putting it together. It really is solid. Interesting techniques to get the different widths coming through to get some of those details in. I like the technique they used with the fin. I believe they've used that technique before, and it might have been the Lamborghini. I'm not entirely sure there because I haven't built that one. It just looked like a very, very similar thing. A lot of stickers on this car, of course. You need some stickers to get some of those window details, some of the shapes, and of course those details along the side in that turquoise. There are a couple of printed pieces on this one. The headlights are printed on those new pieces. We'll get onto those in a second. And of course that grille at the front there where it's got the AMG written into it, I think that's a nice little piece, a nice little print on the edge there as well. Overall, I love the shape. I love the back end of it. I love the diffusers, the way they've just, they've captured all the different subtle angles going on at the rear end of that car. Like I said, some really cool techniques in there used to get the different sort of steps in order to sort of capture that sort of detail. Very, very interesting. The front end probably looks a little less like the real thing, but they've captured it well enough. The only thing I would change is all the pictures I've seen of this car, the wheels were actually, they looked more silver to me. So I probably would have changed the wheels and had, either sort of light blue grey or silver wheels in there. Again, like I said, quite a lot of stickers on there to give it its details. Not really too many stickers that give shape details, but more graphics and of course to give the impression of those windows and a couple of little sort of sign written pieces on the side of it as well. I like what they've done in front of the windscreen there as well in order to sort of give that vented look using those wheel arches. It's interesting. It's a little bit sort of clunky and bulky, but I think it looks quite good. The minifig that comes with this one is a female minifig. Again, some really nice printing on the front of it. Nothing too crazy, but a nice print either way. The hairpiece has that teal hat with the ponytail poking through the back. Note that you cannot fit the girl in the car with that hat on. You just can't close the top. Luckily, it does come with a helmet as well, so you put the helmet on, then the canopy closes fine. No problems at all. Now, I noticed a couple of new pieces in here. They may not be necessarily that new, but they're new to me. The wheel and tyre combination, I hadn't seen that before to get the thinner profile tyres. That was quite interesting. There was essentially a brick, which was a 2-tile high 1x1 stud, if you like, or 1x1 brick. Very strange, because it could be accomplished quite easily just by putting two single square studs on top of each other. So I thought that was a bit of an odd one. Why they've created that new piece, I'm not entirely sure. We've also got that stud with the two little sort of bar pieces on either side. Yeah, that could definitely come in really, really handy going forward. And also that new piece there with the headlight on it as well, that angled piece. I haven't seen that piece before. This one has got headlights on it, but I could see that piece coming in handy, for creating mocks and all that sort of stuff in the future. Now, in conclusion, do I think they're worth it? You're damn right I think these things are worth it. I think bang for buck, excuse the pun, these sets, these Speed Champion sets, you get so much detail, you get such a cool build out of them. I'm going to say they're probably better than, what you would get for the equivalent money on a Star Wars set. And I'm a big Star Wars fan, you guys know that. I'll definitely be collecting all of these in future. I just think that you really do get an exceptional build, strong, good quality. In this case, for the money, you're getting 2 builds, 2 minifigs. You can't really go wrong. You can't really go wrong. And with these Speed Champion sets, you never lose money on them. People are always going to be looking for them going forward. So if you get them on a discount, they will always hold their value later on down the line. So no, I definitely think they are worthwhile buying. Yeah, I'm looking forward to building the rest of them now too. I actually think now the Speed Champion stuff, yeah. Hook, line and sinker. They've got me. Hey, look, thanks very much for checking this video out. I appreciate it. If you did enjoy it, give it a thumbs up, subscribe, all that good stuff. We'll see you in the next one.